Hey, welcome to episode 14 of the New Slang Podcast. I'm Thomas Mooney, the editor-in-chief of New Slang here in Lubbock. And on this episode, this is one of our Nashville episodes. It's with Phillips, who originally is from Texas. He's up there in Nashville right now. He's about to be going on this 40-date tour opening for Counting Crows this summer. His new record, Dirty Wonder, is going to be released this summer as well. We talk a whole lot about all of that kind of stuff in this interview. I guess on this episode, I was kind of an idiot because I don't think I had my equipment all working properly. So it's not as loud as it probably should be. I don't think our mics were recording the right way. Anyways, it's still a really great interview and everything. So of course, we're going to run it. It's a long interview. It's 2 hours long. I thought about cutting it into two pieces, but then just decided, whatever. Let's just run it as one, and we'll get it out there and, whatever. So, yeah, that's what we're doing here. Like I was saying, this is our 14th episode, so thank you so much for, subscribing and everything. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe on iTunes now. Go ahead and give us a rating and all that kind of good stuff. It really does help on the analytical side of things as far as getting the podcast in larger circles and stuff. This episode is brought to you by the Blue Light here in Lubbock. These next 2 weeks of shows are going to be, pound for pound, probably the best week of music this summer. Wednesday is going to be Austin Meade. Thursday is going to be Josh Abbott and William Clark Green. They're playing acoustic. Tickets are available online if you go to thebluelightlive.com. If you don't buy them now, you're probably going to be waiting in line for a long time and possibly not being able to go inside because it just may be a sold-out show. Friday is going to be two of my favorite Amarillo bands. It's Strangetown and Comanche Moon. Comanche Moon's not really played up here yet, so I think this is going to be their first quote-unquote official Lubbock show. They're really gritty and dusty. It's a really great little Americana band. Saturday is going to be Eric Willis. And on Sunday, one of our favorite songwriters is going to be playing at the Blue Light, Mr. Drew Kennedy. He's been on the podcast before. Just one of our, not just favorite songwriters, but favorite people in the songwriting community of Texas. And then, not to be outdone, the following week is possibly even better. It's, Songwriter Night starts out the week for Monday. And then Tuesday, this kind of should be homework for everyone in Lubbock. It's going to be Brandon Adams' Lubbock Legends. He's been doing these, he's only had one, I guess, so far. But once a month, bringing these Lubbock Legends in, and they're playing their music and telling stories and kind of just bridging that gap between, in some cases, the late 70s, 80s, but primarily the 90s music of Lubbock and the songwriters of the day. This Tuesday is two of my favorite songwriters, period. They're both from Lubbock. They've done such an incredible job of capturing what Lubbock music is, and that's Wade Parks and Carrie Sweeney. Charlie Stout's going to be opening that show as well, so you'll want to be sure to attend next Tuesday. That's July 19th. It's going to be an early show. Doors are going to be open at 7 o'clock with music starting at 8, so you want to make sure you get there early. Grab a seat, listen to these incredible songwriters. I know a lot of you probably have never heard of Carrie Sweeney or Wade Parks, but they're two of the best songwriters in Lubbock. And then on Wednesday, Vaden Todd Lewis of the Toadies is going to be playing an acoustic show. You can buy pre-sale tickets for that show as well. Again, that's at thebluelightlive.com. Thursday is this band called Velcro Fly. Friday is Kirk Thurmond. And then on Saturday is another big, massive show. It's a street show out in front of the Blue Light. You may have heard about it already. If not, Basically, it's Wade Bowen, Sean McConnell, Grady Spencer in the work, and Hunter Hutchinson. So you can buy pre-sale tickets for that as well. And then on Sunday, to follow that up, it's going to be Flatland Cavalry and Caitlin Butts out on the back patio. So yeah, these next 2 weeks, pretty incredible. Just to recap, Austin Meade, Josh Abbott, and William Clark Green Acoustic, Strangetown and Comanche Moon, Eric Willis, Drew Kennedy, Kerry Sweeney, Wade Parks, Todd Lewis of the Toadies, Velcro Fly, Kirk Thurmond. A massive street show with Wade Bowen, Sean McConnell, Grady Spencer, and Hunter Hutchinson. And then Flatland Cavalry and Caitlin Butts. Yeah, lots of great music. So go to the Blue Light these next 2 weeks, every night if you can.
This guy's a friend of mine is.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and get on to the
building an
interview
amp
with Kay Phillips.
for me.
And yeah, here it is.
He's like, what kind of, what are you thinking, like a 70s Plexi, or like, I don't know, I don't care to know. I just want something that sounds good and costs less than $2,000.
Yeah. You don't want to know how the sausage is made.
Yeah.
Just make the sausage. Just make the amp.
I like it when gear guys know like who the pedal maker is and what the pedal maker did before he made pedals and why the transistors sound the way they do. And I just want some gear that sounds like me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to. Like, I'm going through all this trouble to like have stuff built, and our drummer Wade builds guitars, and he's building me all these like one pickup guitars, and it's just because like I want to sound like anybody else, you know? Like I want, and part of not sounding like anyone else is like not looking like anyone else. Like the guitars I'm playing, like they all have one pickup, and they like my favorite players were dudes that ended up buying their guitars came from Sears and Roebuck catalogs, and they're just crap guitars. They're like the airline guitars or the Silvertone guitars or the Teisco Del Rey guitars, and but they're just not built. Like we're going out for 10 weeks, and they're not built to stay in tune outside at in front of an amphitheater like sound system. They just fall apart.
Yeah.
So we're building stuff that I'm trying to have stuff built that is like, first of all I can afford it, but second of all it's like it'll last and it'll sound like that old crap, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, but actually, the whole thing about that is, it's one of my criticisms of Lubbock is that it feels like there's only a handful of bass guys, a handful of lead guitar players. So what ends up happening is, it's cool seeing guitar player A play with like 4 bands, but then like that happens, then bass player A plays with those same 4 bands, and like those 4 bands just start blending together and sounding the same without actually, for no reason, you know. Like in Lubbock right now, there's way more songwriters than there are guitar players, bass players, drummers, auxiliary guys. Like there's how many people playing fiddle? Like 2 or 3.
Right.
You know, like nobody's playing mandolin.
Yeah.
Nobody's playing piano.
Yeah.
Or any kind of keys really, except for like Jerry Serrano.
Yeah.
But that's one of those. I hope that doesn't become a problem.
No, we can't.
Like in like 5 years.
We need more songwriters.
Think so?
Because they move here, and then I mean the best players in the world live here.
Yeah.
Or they come here at first and try to get work and try to put their skills up against other great players. And I mean, if you need a bass player, just come here. Like I moved here for my band, but we don't have enough great songwriters. And the thing that happens in Lubbock is it's a good problem because that's how a sound is made. That's why there is a Lubbock sound, because it's so isolated, but at the same time, like being from the Panhandle Plains or close to West Texas, in West Texas, it was, you had to do something. You know, you had to write about it, or get into drugs, or play football, but it was too hot. It's too hot to play football.
Unless, like, if you're, it's, you know, like, if you look at anybody like Mac Davis.
Yeah.
Like, and it just really any songwriter or musician, they're all little guys. Like, Mac Davis is a little dude.
Well,
and
yeah.
If you're,
Paul
if you're a little
Simon,
dude, you're
Ryan
not gonna
Adams,
play. Yeah, you're not gonna play
Napoleon.
football. Yeah.
But you need places like Lubbock with songwriters and with people who are coming up with these great songs and writing about this place that not everybody gets to experience, because even though it's not like Nashville, it's maybe the opposite of Nashville. Geographically, there's no hills.
Yeah.
You know, there's no.
Well, I mean, it's raining right now.
Yeah.
I know, like, it's rained a little
Rains
bit. Like,
as much as
recently,
Seattle.
but, like, it's obviously way wetter out here.
Right.
Yeah, it's
you need Lubbock, because those guys, you come up and you have this urge, and you need to write about something when you live there, because there's something else to do. You know, and maybe you could smoke crystal meth, or you could get into making babies, or I don't know, like go to work for your dad. But you gotta come up there, and then you gotta move away. You know, look at Terry Allen, look at Joey Lee, look at
just like
Ian
those,
Packard,
like Buddy Holly.
Buddy Holly,
Yeah.
And we don't have enough great songs or great songwriters. Guys come here and I feel like they're at an advantage, because they didn't have to, like, they weren't concerned with being, like, some of the guys that play in my band, they're, like, my drummer is better than most people at guitar than I've met, you know, but he went to Berkeley, he can play drums, he can play guitar, he can play bass, he can sing harmonies, and that's the world he came from. Like, you couldn't just be great at this one instrument, you had to be great at all of them. But when you come from a songwriter hub, it's like you're a killer when it comes time for song swaps, you know, and you grow up, like, maybe at first getting your ass handed to you, and you're like, fuck, I gotta play after that. I gotta play after fucking Paul Coffin. You know, I gotta play after Joey Lee, or, you know, Terry Allen. It's like, you learn how to write, like, stuff that connects, as opposed to learning how to, like there's this guy, Adam McDougal, and he played the Black Crowes, and in the Black Crowes he played piano and organ, and so now he plays in the Chris Robinson Brotherhood, which is the same singer as the Black Crowes. And what made him such a great genius player was, now he goes to the Chris Robinson Brotherhood, and he doesn't take the same rig, like we were talking about, how in Lubbock it's the same guy with the same rig playing 4 bands. He takes, now granted, he's like at the top echelon of players that can have whatever gear he wants, probably. So instead of taking a piano and an organ, he says, I'm not going to use piano or organ. It's like he creates limitations for himself. So in the Chris Robinson Brotherhood, he plays Rhodes, like Fender Rhodes piano, which is a weird electric time piano, and then clavinet, which is like, you hear, I feel like I have to explain this to people, but anybody listening to your podcast, they probably know what a clavinet is. It's, you know, like the funky keyboard that kind of sounds like a guitar, and a Moog synthesizer, which is like this 70s analog synth, you know. No piano, no organ. So all of a sudden the same guy sounds like it sounds like a whole different band
Mm-hmm.
instead of the same band. So
See, I think you honestly have to kind of explain because there's not as much of that stuff in Texas.
right,
You know what I mean? Like, typically,
right, yeah,
you
People-
find like a band and it's like a 4-piece
Yeah.
without keys of any kind.
yeah.
But like the keys, just
Keys
it
are
fills
dumb.
a band.
We don't need any keys. Keyboard players.
No, but it fills the sound out, and it makes a major difference, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, when I first started playing keys, I was 5 years old and I was like forced to do it. I was like, this is so dumb. I want to play guitar. So I started playing guitar, and for years I didn't play keys. But then you hear Tom Waits sit down at a piano and just like rip your insides out, you know, or
Mhm.
you hear somebody like Terry Allen or
Yeah, like Terry's stuff is just all on the
Yeah.
piano or on the keyboard, you know. Obviously, Lloyd Baines is playing on the guitar.
Right.
Like, Kenny's playing bass on all that early stuff, but, you know, he's using the keys.
Right.
He's never played a guitar on any of those records. you
Yeah.
know, and to me, that's like, what defines him.
Right.
As like,
Yeah.
especially like in Lubbock, like, you can't name another lead singer who's just playing keys.
yeah,
Like, in a way, like, I wonder, I've never really asked him this, but like, I wonder if that's if he knew how to play guitar, or if that was just one of those things where it's like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And, you know, the more you ask me, hey, why don't you play some guitar, like a guitar song,
Right.
the more I'm going to say, I'm gonna, like, you know, back into the corner and be like, I'm the fucking piano guy.
yeah.
You know?
Man, it also, for me, I started playing piano because I would do song swaps and it'd just be one guy with an acoustic guitar, then the next guy with an acoustic guitar, then the next guy with the acoustic guitar. And if you were, like I grew up playing music and I like to sit in. I feel like I'm a player too, and but there was always a way better guitar player. Texas has a good amount of great guitar players, but so I was like, if I'm gonna sit in with this guy or like back this guy up, you know, because I was like in the New Braunfels scene. I was in. That's really where I cut my teeth, but there was always a better guitar player in the song swap, playing acoustic guitar. So I started playing piano again and organ to like be able to also back whoever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just such a perfect instrument, the piano, because there's bass, and the organ, there's you can, with your left hand you can play bass, with your right hand you can chord, you can play lead stuff, and it's you need the guitar to write certain kinds of songs, you need drums to write certain kinds of songs, but you know, the ballads and the you could never write a Randy Newman song on guitar.
Yeah. To me, especially, I don't know if it's necessarily now, but, you know, our grandparents, you know, they grew up in a house that probably had a piano.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or our parents did. Or,
Right.
like, you always hear more about a family piano.
Right.
Than a family guitar or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, the guitar is more of a, I don't know, like if you go off to college or if you,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Totally.
Or you're on a trip, it's obviously way easier to pack.
Yeah.
But like that's why I think that like the piano kind of has that more, those earthy tones whenever
Yeah.
you're, in a way, like just by proxy, you're kind of thinking about your family. usually,
Right.
Or like
Yeah.
the isolation away from
It's
it.
always in the the middle of the house
Mhm.
somewhere, and everyone can hear you playing it. You could take your guitar into your room.
Yeah.
You could take it to your dorm room.
Okay, so you grew up in San Angelo.
Mhm.
When did you move? Like how?
So I self-identify as a San Angelo, but in the 7th grade, we were dropping acid at the lunch table, and two girls, it was me and my friend Blake Ogletree, and my buddy Michael Doyle, who I've never seen these guys again. And living in a small town and not really giving a shit about sports and loving music, you wanted to get away, and so we all got into drugs pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
We were skateboarding, listening to records, listening to CDs, and smoking pot and just trying whatever we could to get out of San Angelo in a way. And anyways, these girls kind of freaked out, and they went to the nurse, and they told on us, and so I had to move. They sent me away to go. I was raised by my grandparents. My grandfather was a judge in San Angelo, and but they just they didn't know what to do with me anymore. Yeah. So they sent me away, and I went to high school in Corpus, and I try not to talk about Corpus, but it was actually where I heard Robert O'Keefe, for the first time, and I started hearing what a great narrator could do, and what a great storyteller could do in the confines of a lyric, Mm-hmm. And Robert Earl was not only a great singer-songwriter, but he was a great, he is a great music historian, and he's great at playing songs and putting songs on his record that people need to hear,
Mm-hmm.
that maybe, a 13-year-old kid wouldn't have heard a cowboy song like Sonora's Death Row, or Towns Van Zandt's Snow and Army Tom.
Yeah.
And that, I just remember, bay fishing with my dad and being drunk for the first time and listening to Robert O'Keefe's Live No. 2 Dinner, and his banter between songs and his stories were just so good and so captivating in it. And growing up, my uncle Todd Phillips went to Tech, and he played guitar, and he wrote some songs, and he was just a great singer. And every time he would come down and visit my dad, there would be little, he would pull out the guitar, pull out the Takamine, and he would play Sonora's Death Row, or he would play he always ended up with cowboy songs, whether it was that, or it was that one Garth Brooks song, Strawberry Roan, and Little Joe.
Oh, I think that song is actually called just the cowboy song.
Yeah, the cowboy song. Yeah. It was just I grew up, every Sunday we would go, we would take off our church clothes, and we would go and feed the ugliest cows you've ever seen. They're outside in a place called Miles, Texas, 30 miles outside of San Angelo. I remember riding with my grandfather in this 70s Chevy Love, and he had a good job, and he could have bought whatever four-wheel drive badass, but he drove this 70s Chevy Love, which is a low utility. It was the first tiny truck, like an S10 before the S10. It was just, and we'd get stuck, and the next door, the ranch next door would have to pull us out, and I'd see some kid I knew from school, and he's like, "Why don't you guys have four-wheel drive?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know why we don't have one." So we did. But it feels a little hokey now, when I hear people do that, on the radio, and talking about growing up on the ranch, but somehow those cowboy songs were more authentic to me, even though Garth Brooks didn't grow up in the 1800s or whatever. Robert O'Keefe had never been in a traveling group of thieves.
Yeah.
But those songs just, they made me want to, I saw they affected my dad, and they in the same, I could see that from sitting a foot away from him, and they affected my uncle, where he had to learn it, and So I wanted to start playing guitar and writing songs. And I love the idea of this guy in front of, you know, this bar full of people just drinking beer and like just telling stories, and it reminded me of those campfire days with my dad and my uncle. And I think it's a very Texas thing now living in Nashville, being away from it for a while. We have a good thing in it, and the songwriter, the too many songwriters, not enough musicians thing is a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Because you'll always have dudes from Berkeley, and you'll always have dudes who they just want to be players, but we need more people to write about where we're from, to explain, and to connect with people who are from, you know, rural Kansas, or, you know, maybe they're from,
Yeah, like in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, or maybe, you know, maybe they're from, you know, Brooklyn, or maybe they're from somewhere overseas, like in China. Maybe they're like from Mexico City, you know. But it's like the only way to connect is by telling a true story. Or there's this Robert Graves poem about a bird catcher. It's called "Love Without Hope." Have I talked to you about this before?
I don't think so.
But so in 4 lines, Graves, and yes, I'm comparing Robert Graves to Robert Earl Keen. He explains that you know, with this poem, he kind of like changed the way I thought about writing. And anyways, so in 4 lines, it's like he talks about a bird catcher in industrial England, and what a bird catcher does is they go to the park and they pick up birds and put them in their hat, and they fill up their, you know, big hat, and they go to a baker and trade the blackbirds in for a piece of bread and maybe a piece of coal, and so that night he won't freeze to death, and he'll have something in his stomach. So it's a full day's work of fucking catching birds.
Yeah.
And this bird catcher, lowly of birth, is finished his day's work, and it's noon, and he's going home. He's gonna get his piece of bread and his piece of coal, and he's not gonna freeze, and he's not gonna go hungry. And just as he's leaving, he sees this squire, and the squire's daughter, in this beautiful white carriage drawn by 2 beautiful white horses, and this woman his age who he never has a chance with, not in his whole life. And there's no way this girl will ever have anything to do with him. He sees her and she sees him, and he tips his cap to her, and these birds fly out and fly around her head and into the heavens, and she looks at him and he looks at her, and he's made an impression on this girl he would never have a chance with. And now he's about to go home and probably starve and probably freeze to death. But he's escaped his confines for just 1 second. And it was worth it, you know, maybe. And that's what I read when I read those 4 lines of Love Without Hope by Robert Graves. And so after reading that, I realized, like, oh, well, I don't have to tell my story. That everything has to be what Christopher Phillips is doing. It also doesn't have to be palatable to whatever the trends are. It doesn't have to be Red Solo Cup. It doesn't have to be, you know, driving down to the river with my best girl. It has to be, what it has to be is the narrator has to be truthful to himself or herself. You know, it has to be exactly the way that character would do it, you know. And like in Sonora's Death Row, we get this guy who's like so drunk he thinks somebody has robbed him, you know, in his group of men. And when you hang out, like, I'm sure you've had friends, hopefully you still don't have friends like this, but I've had friends where sometimes I'm like hanging out with them, and growing up it was like, I don't know what these motherfuckers are gonna do.
Yeah.
You know, like, and yeah, I'm glad they're on my side, but at any given moment, you know, I halfway don't trust them. You know,
Well, it's like sometimes you go to like an after party, and it's like typically you go to the same after party, like the same house or whatever.
Right.
But then every once in a while there's like, hey, we're actually going to my buddy's house.
Mhm.
Well, you maybe met a few times and you just don't know the situation.
Right.
But then like you go there and it's a totally different vibe.
Right.
And it could be the same people, but it's just a different vibe, and you're just like,
Yeah.
oh man, I don't know about this.
Right. And so you can relate to Sonora's Death Row, or even though you've never been a bandit,
Mhm.
in the Old West. And that's what that Graves poem taught me, and that's what I try to use still to this day. Is I want to connect with people. I want to make that record that somebody puts on. Like a friend of mine just called me, and he's like, he was a musician and he played with great people, and now he's a psychiatrist, and he's an amazing dude. He's just probably one of the most brilliant people I've ever met. But he's like going through some hard times with his lady, and he makes so much money at any given time. He could just disappear, and he does. He'll go 3 months. He'll go to Vietnam or Cambodia or wherever. Like he'll just travel.
Yeah.
And in some ways, I cannot relate to that guy. But when he was telling me what was going on with this lady, I was like, well, shit, I'm going through the same thing right now. And it just reminds me that even though not everybody's in your situation, we still have these like basic things that we want to have in our life, and sometimes they slip through your fingers. And I'm sorry, I don't know where I was going with that.
No, you're good.
This rain is like,
Yeah.
Nashville. I moved here. I need the sun. I didn't know I needed the sun because I had the sun
Mhm.
my whole life. When I moved here in the wintertime, and it was just, I realized like, oh, if I don't get enough sun, I get depressed, and which is kind of hard when you work at night
Yeah.
and
You're not out.
you're not out, or when the sun doesn't come out for fucking months.
Yeah.
And I moved here, and they're like, oh yeah, it rains here as much as it rains in Seattle. And I was like, oh, really, Seattle?
There's a
Suicide capital?
What I
where
hate-
Never.
what I really hate about winter is not the cold, not it being wet or anything like that. What I hate is like the sun goes down at 5:30.
Yeah.
And like that's what I hated in high school, like being basketball practice. And basketball practice would be right after school, and you'd get out and it'd be dark already.
Yeah, when you
It's
got
just
out.
like shit, man. Like I went to school when it was dark.
Yeah.
I got out of school and it's dark. And like, why do we have this? Like, why
Right.
have we not figured out a way to utilize the sunlight better?
We should
But I
ask.
don't know.
I could tweet Elon Musk.
Yeah.
He follows me on Twitter.
Okay.
Just kidding.
On Twitter though, I'm sure you've picked up some followers that you just go, oh, shit, look, Elon Musk. Have you direct messaged anybody before?
No.
Like,
No, I always feel like I'm already creepy, so
yeah.
I try not to do anything that could possibly.
Unfollowed?
Yeah.
See,
Maybe
Not
I've
to-
direct messaged you,
Yeah.
but I think
Oh.
we kind of
Yeah.
knew of each other.
yeah, I don't ever find anybody going like, oh shit, like why is somebody direct messaging me right now?
Yeah.
But the one person I wanted to was, and I was like, oh fuck. It was like Chris Stapleton was following me
Yeah,
for a while.
nice.
Well, it was before all the awards and #1 traveler. And it was, I guess, he ended up unfollowing me. I don't think he was running it. Like, I think it's just his PR and stuff. But I guess like maybe a month after Traveler dropped. I don't like dropped. But it was released. Like he just unfollowed, his account unfollowed like everybody except for like 100
Right.
people. And it was just like, damn, there was my chance to just direct message him something.
Yeah.
I don't know. direct messaged Jason Isbell one time to ask him
Yeah.
a very specific question, but and he got back to me, which was cool.
Nice.
But
Yeah,
it was
he's
just one of
good
those
at
like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like doing it on Twitter is probably a little bit more intimidating than just emailing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you blindly emailed anybody, musician-wise, about anything?
So when I was in college, I kind of I was writing. My thesis was I was writing a book about the creative process of the singer-songwriter in the Americana genre, kind of like what you're doing, but nobody reads books anymore. And this was before podcasts like really took off. And I love podcasts, by the way, and I do love this podcast.
Well, thank you.
And thank you for doing this. You know, I want to
It's
say
been fun.
in the middle, hopefully, of the podcast. But yeah, I emailed Joe Ely. I emailed Alejandro Escobedo. Who else? Yeah, people like that, like kind of the older guard, and like the guy Joe Ely is just like, have you interviewed him?
I have not actually. I've never met Joe Ely.
He's just like
Which
the
is-
best interview in the world.
Yeah.
And you should keep doing this and interview Joe Ely.
I know I'm gonna at some point I'm going to.
Yeah. I mean, you want to be ready when Joe Ely, you know, steps in front of your microphone, because it's just
Yeah.
the stories and just
Yeah, I've seen him play a few times, but
yeah.
saw him. He opened for Bingham one time.
Yeah.
At like a calf rye, and I saw him play acoustic at the Cactus in Lubbock. Like that show is amazing. Just like every
Right.
guitar is fucking cool. What I want to see though is, I guess I don't know how old Joe is now. Like 75. I don't know if he's that old. I think he's like in the early 70s. Regardless, like of the Flatlander guys,
Mm-hmm.
he was definitely the most rock and roll. You know, like
Yeah, he was the rock and roll guy.
He, you know,
Butch was the folk guy.
Yeah, and Jimmy was kind of like the cosmic cowboy.
Yeah.
But have you ever listened to Live Shots by Joe Ely?
Of course,
It's like
I have,
okay.
I have it on vinyl.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it's sweaty, it's live,
Yeah.
it's energetic, raw, and like I don't think he does anything remotely like that anymore.
Right.
And I would love to see him like in some kind of dive bar,
Yeah.
just doing that show again.
I've seen him rock though.
Yeah.
Just him and a drummer.
Yeah.
Like at Sam's Burger Joint in San Antonio. He's a rocker. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Like I would love to see like that Joe Ely,
Yeah.
like at Blue Light or something like that, where a small little dive bar,
Right.
where you can only fit maybe I don't know.
He still rocks. Like
Yeah.
he just, he knows how to play the room. When you play the Cactus Cafe, you gotta be a storytelling songwriter.
Yeah, I think like there for a while it feels weird. I think like just look at any rock star. It's kind of weird if they just they think it's still like 75 or something like that.
Right.
With a lot of them, especially like the '80s guys.
Yeah.
Like if you, I'm not even saying they're good, but like if you look at Guns N' Roses, right? You look at them,
Yeah.
and you're like, ah man, past the prime.
Mhm.
But you didn't pivot and find your path, which I think there for a minute. It wasn't that Ely was bad, but like he didn't find the right kind of guitar tones
Right.
to mix. And like his last record, like that Panhandle Rambler, have you heard that?
Mhm.
Like that, he found all the right guitar
Yeah.
pieces throughout the entire record for the like.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like for the first time in like 10 years at least.
Oh yeah.
And it's very like spaghetti western, but like Panhandle and
Yeah.
like just all the guitar work on there was
Right.
just fucking cool, you know. And I think like that's what like a lot of old guys need to do instead of like trying to.
Yeah. Well, like I feel like I have some insight on that. So I think he recorded that at home in Logic. He has a little home studio, and he was like one of the first guys to record a record at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know that record didn't even come out until I mean, it's just been re-released again.
You talking about like V484?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was like on a Macintosh.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
It's like,
That's
like it was on, it'd be like him going to the moon because he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Then, but, yeah, before 84, and I mean, he's been doing home recordings for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just such an artist in every way. Like, he's a great painter, he's a great writer, and just,
Yeah. Like he's
just cool.
He's
you know?
like one of those dudes who he has books out, you know.
Yeah.
He just released another one called like Reverb just a couple years back.
Oh, man.
I read his first one, which was
Yeah,
a
Bonfire
collection.
Road Maps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
read that, but I've not read Reverb yet.
So, you know, Joe Ely actually, in a way, like my love for his music and you know, just who he was as like this just cool ass Texas icon, like, or West Texas, you know. It pretty much started my career. So, this guy, John Pettit, called me, and I was woodshedding in the practice rooms playing this Bosendorfer grand piano, like just really getting into it, and he would call me. He called me like every week, and he's like, "Hey man," he knew my uncle. They used to go on hunts and stuff, and my uncle would, you know, like entertain the people. They would have like the bird hunt, and then at the end of the night there would be a campfire, and my uncle would play songs and get to hunt for free. And John was like a hunting guide, and you know, ended up doing a little bit of, you know, like one of those guys like who's, you know, they've done well because they don't really, what do you do? You know,
Yeah.
they don't really do anything anymore. They don't.
Yeah.
But at the time, he was like, "I'm starting a studio." And I was like, "Yeah, right, great. I'm gonna go back to practicing." And then finally, he was like, "You know, let's make a record." And I said, "All right, well, I need $5,000 if I'm gonna make a record." Like, I was like, like it might as well have been like $50,000 because it's like I was trying to make records on my Mac and it just never sounded great. You know, I couldn't get the drums the way I wanted. He's like, "Okay, give me your you know, broke college kid budget, and give me your Rolling Stones budget." And like, okay. So I picked, you know, the guys who I thought would have just, like, my rock and roll dream team, you know, and I brought it back to him, and in one hand was my band, the Concho Pearls, who, there weren't studio guys, you know, and the other, it was studio guys, and it was Jimmy Pettit from the Flatlanders, who original Joe Ely bass player. I just thought was the coolest dude. And, you know, Bobby Keys from the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
Lubbock guys, and Rick Richards, who, you know, I heard on Snake Farm, and he was just like
Big Wally Hubbard stuff.
yeah, just so in the pocket, and just he plays with Joe Walsh now too, and then Bucka Allen.
Yeah.
I wanted, he was Terry Allen's son, and I just always grew up thinking like, it's so cool this dude played the B3, and then this guy Kevin McKinney who played with like Bruce Robinson, and he also had a band called I mean, he's a great songwriter. I forgot, what is that band called? Anyways, I'll remember it later. Just like the dude who I thought were the best dudes to help me make a record, and to represent where I was coming from. Sorry, you know, in West Texas, and it turned out that Jimmy Pettit is John Pettit's uncle, and they had grown up together in Uvalde, and John had grown up seeing Jimmy come back from playing with Ely in Europe and playing with the Clash, and man, Jimmy Pettit was just that record wouldn't have, just you know, when somebody steps into a room and they're just like, everybody's just happy to see him, like that's what this bass player dude is like. And you know, I'd only wanted him to play because he was just like my favorite West Texas bass player. And so we made that record, and that became the record American Girls. And from there, I got to play like Blue Light, and I got to know you, and actually Joe Ely came in one day, and Bobby Keys had driven in. They got him like a first class plane ticket from Nashville to Dripping Springs, to Austin, and then he decided he missed his flight and drove because he wanted to bring his weed. And he walked in, and he looked like pubescent Justin Bieber had just like aged 50 years.
Yeah.
Like he had this swoop hair, but then he was wearing like kind of like hip hoppy, kind of like clothes. It was weird.
Really?
And he was like, "What's the song?" And their song was like Rambler, like the song. And he's like, "Oh man, I could kill this song right now." You're like, "Yeah, well, why weren't you here yesterday or the day before?" Like he showed up 3 days late and wanted to get paid the same, but it was Bobby Keys.
Yeah.
You know, he had been kicked out of the Rolling Stones for partying.
Yeah.
There was nothing he could do about it. And so that day, Joe Ely, I heard Joe Ely was coming, and he pulls up to this old ranch house there, the place we recorded in Dripping Springs, and he's in this long, garish, James Bond-looking BMW or something. I don't know, just some luxury car, and he comes out and he's got a scarf on and cowboy boots. And
I was gonna ask, like, was he
Yeah.
like in jeans and like a denim shirt or something? Like
No, he was not. He was, it was like a Gucci, like, white linen jacket, but then like cowboy boots, and it somehow looked like West Texas rock and roll. And I was like, Mr. Ely? And it was my record. I could have been like, "Hey, this is my fucking record. Want to come sing on it or some shit?" But I was just like, I just wanted to meet you. You know, I like shook his hand, and he's like, "I heard Bobby Keys was here." And he walked in, and he's like, "Bobby!" He's like, "Oh, Joey," or something like that. And then they like, you know, then I think we were done recording for the day, so they could like hang out.
Yeah.
But it just was what it was. And
Bobby Keys is on a lot of that Ely
Yeah.
stuff, and there's photos of them playing different places. And, a story I heard that was this is a really great story. Is I think Bobby.
Well, that's a great way to intro it.
This is a good.
This is a funny joke.
This is a funny.
This is a funny joke. Yeah, start live.
Okay,
Just
so
giving a hard time.
this is a. I think Bobby Keys was there at this thing. Tornado Jam was this like music festival thing in Lubbock, and one year it was like Ely, Terry Allen, Linda Ronstadt, and I don't know, a few other Lubbock bands or West Texas bands, and they get there the day before, and they're all just hanging out, and well, let's go do something, right?
Yeah.
And so one of them had heard that Lubbock High was having like a senior party out at the Cotton Club, and like they go and crash this party. They go and like get up on stage and start singing like Terry Allen songs and Joe Ely songs and Linda Ronstadt songs, and they're all up there and like playing. And the dude at the Cactus Club was like, "All right, well I was only paid to be here till midnight. Everyone has to get the fuck out," and like turn the power off on these guys. And like they were just up on stage playing still with no power, but it's just like that's the most fucking Lubbock thing.
Yeah.
It's like you have something so fucking cool,
Yeah.
and then you're like, turn the power off.
Yeah.
I didn't get paid for this.
It's this static evaluation of Jesus was never a prophet in his hometown.
Mm-hmm.
And that, man, I saw. It's funny now, but I saw so much of that in New Braunfels, and it just for so long it just enraged me. Like I would go see Ryan Bingham play in front of 5 people at Sanger Hall, and everyone was talking.
Yeah.
And he goes to LA, and like people are like, "Oh my God, who is this guy?" And
Then you come back.
And then he comes back, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's from here. We love him."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I remember I was going to see him at Sanger Hall, just hanging off everywhere. And I was like, "Bitch, you were fucked up. You riding the river all day."
Yeah.
Can I say the F word? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And it was just like him or not, whatever you think. I mean, people realize what a great talent he was, but you motherfuckers
Mm-hmm.
just shat on him
Well,
because you knew he lived here and he's sleeping on people's couches.
Look at like Buddy Holly. You know, like you leave a place, and that's whenever you become. Once you become a big person somewhere else, that's when like you can become like you're a big person
Right.
back in your hometown, in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Or not. I still go back to San Angelo and I'm like, why am I here?
BJ Barham one time at Blue Light, he was playing an acoustic show, and John Moreland had opened up for him. And of course, like they're not from Lubbock, but like you know, they go in there and Moreland is playing, and people were talking and stuff, and it's like, fuck man, just shut the fuck up.
Of course they're talking.
Like you needed to be quiet for 30 minutes and like 40 minutes max, and you couldn't do it. Like we were talking over like arguably the best songwriter going right now.
Right.
Arguably, right? So like when Barham gets up there, he's talking, he's like, you guys just missed one of the best songwriters right now, and like my personal favorite. So you're gonna be lying to your grandkids one day that you saw John Moreland.
Right.
And like
Yeah.
that he just started playing, and he didn't have like very minimal interaction with the band or with the audience the rest of the way through, because he was just kind of like, he didn't pay enough respect to him.
Right. Well, that's the
Yes.
Blue Light, and it
It's just like the honky tonk
It's
atmosphere of any.
yeah, it's my favorite place to play in Lubbock and maybe in all of West Texas, but like you can't. It's funny because I'm gonna say people know Lubbock is cultivating and has a very special thing that's built around the song
Mm-hmm.
and around great songwriters, great influences, and it's holy there. But at the same time, playing the Blue Light for a songwriter can be crushing.
Yeah.
It,
I think like anybody from Lubbock who has come out of that place knows that too, and they'll admit
Right.
like that it can be a place that, on one hand, it's like it hardens you. If you can play Lubbock,
right.
you can play like anywhere kind of thing, right? But then at the same time, like it's there's days that you just go, fuck man, why am I doing this?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So you drive 8 hours to Lubbock, and I actually don't know how far it is here from Nashville, but I went. I was so excited to play. I'd always try to get into Blue Light, and which is funny because I do want to say, well, remind me in a second, but like about the next time we played the Blue Light, the gig we're playing before is Red Rocks.
Oh
So
yeah.
we're playing Red Rocks, and it's sold out, and I'm going from Red Rocks to the Blue Light, and I think almost every time I've gone to the Blue Light, I've tried to fight somebody in the audience, like a frat boy or.
I think like every
whatever.
time you've been there, I can remember at least like one thing going like, well that's the fucking weirdest thing that just happened.
Yeah.
One time.
The girl taking her clothes off.
Huh?
The girl getting naked in the back and like stripping.
I don't remember that
Do you-
one.
Yeah.
I remember one where it was around Christmas, I think, and you were playing, and what's the song that you have like the story about the guy, like you're up like in I think like the Northwest.
Right. Yeah.
and, like,
Lincoln City.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
about-
So you have that little story beforehand,
Mhm.
and like you were standing there with your guitar, and kind of strumming and telling the story before going into the song,
It's a funny story.
and then like this.
It's a
guy-
good story. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
This
Do it.
guy's talking, and then like you're like, hey, you need to shut the fuck up before I stick this guitar up your ass.
Yeah.
And like,
Which I would never say to anybody. And I was like, I want to sodomize him with a guitar.
yeah,
Gross.
and like you just kind of like strummed it hard, and then
Yeah.
like quit the story and then went into the song.
Yeah.
But he was like talking. I don't necessarily know what he was saying.
No, he was
but
like, yeah, he was like trying to like, in between the beats of the story, like say like, 'cause you're gay, or something like that.
oh,
or
he
like,
was doing okay.
'cause he's gay, and like looking at his friends and like, 'cause you're both gay. Just like, ah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the Blue Light is as songwriter. I mean, it's in a town full of great songwriters. And when you go, I want to say it's like it'd be like skateboarding in front of the guys from Dogtown in their own home pool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's there's already. I'm already like pumped up because I'm playing. Like there's songwriters there.
Yeah.
You know, that just came out to like pay respects to the craft, or people I respect are there. You're there. You know, Ben Leachman is there, maybe, usually. And it's just like, Briston Phillips is
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like, great artists are there. It's just like, let's just, you know, in a way, it's like that it makes me play better, and I'm on fire, like, when I get to play in front of other artists, you know?
Yeah.
But when people disrespect the craft,
Yeah.
it enrages me, and I'm not like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, now I sound like somebody who's like that, but I've never been happy or more angry than I have been playing the Blue Light. You know?
Yeah. Well, because it's one of those, like, there's one in every crowd, right?
Mhm.
You can just like ruin the entire experience,
Right.
Because like that one asshole is gonna be louder than like the 100 people who are there watching the show, or you know, whatever the case is, right? And like they can, I think in a lot of ways, places that are hubs for music, right?
Mhm.
Like these signature venues,
Yeah.
they become like a chic thing, right?
Right.
And it's so much of our culture now to make sure all your friends and buddies know,
Right.
hey, I'm at blah blah. I'm gonna go see blah blah, and I'm here.
Right.
I can prove it. Here's my,
Yeah.
Instagram post, my
Yeah.
Snapchat. And so then like they came there really just to do that,
Right.
to make sure like their friends know that they're doing stuff, or hang out with their friends, whatever. And then, you know, by proxy, like they invite that one friend who's not really into music and
Right.
just wants to be there to get fucked up. And it's
Right.
like, you can go get fucked up at your house, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And one of my whole things is like, there's nothing wrong with getting like fucked up at a bar or drinking at a bar, but like, if it's a music bar, a music venue of some sort, like that can't be like the number one thing on that list. It
Right.
can be like number like 6 or 7,
Yeah.
if as long as like those other 6 or 7 are like to like watch music or have like some kind of,
Right.
but like,
Well, I've actually been really lucky in that regard, is that in that I have so little fans, and there's that when we played the Blue Light, I think there were like 5 people there. It's almost like they know not to come, which is good. I mean, I would rather have you there and have been there than it just be like a sea of frat dudes. I was in a frat. I'm not trying to like knock frat dudes,
yeah,
but I know who I want my audience to be, and when I look back on my life, I don't give a shit if I was. I would rather be Terry Allen than Pat Green. You know,
Yeah.
like Pat Green is probably monetized way better. I don't. Who knows? But he could go somewhere and have 5,000 people show up. But I would much rather play a theater and have 200 people be there and be there to listen, and those people be people that give a shit about art, you know, or they want to like take this trip with me. But I guess you don't. I don't know if you get to choose your fans, but I've been like really lucky in repelling almost anybody that could come see me.
Yeah.
So.
Which is, in my opinion, really weird because, like, American Girls is a very...
Go on.
Like, it's a record that, like, what I would compare it to in a way is it's like the same kind of record that, like a Tom Petty record. As far as, like, you can put something on like that and, you know, nobody's gonna be, oh, fuck Tom Petty, take that shit off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know anyone
It's a
who
fun
doesn't
record.
know,
Yeah.
who doesn't like at least 5 Tom Petty songs.
Yeah.
You know? The same way,
They're
like
all
that.
hits.
Yeah.
But he's a writer.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
It's like, it has that same kind of thing to it where, like, I guess in the same way, like, anytime Bruce Springsteen has tried to be, like, Born in the USA Springsteen,
Right.
or, like, Bob Seger Night Moves kind of stuff, where it's,
Mhm.
like, that heartland rock, but
Mm-hmm.
it's very easy to listen to regardless if you're paying attention to the lyrics.
Right.
And American Girls has that,
And
and like I would think that a whole lot of people would attach on to at least the sound.
Yeah. Well, it did do some things, but like, I'm not trying to put on airs. Like, I couldn't afford a tour behind it. Like,
Mhm.
we made a record, and we did some PR stuff, and John put, we put a lot of money into the front end, like into the record itself. And making a record in the studio is not cheap, and I could have asked him for more money, a lot more money, but something I've come to terms with is it's okay because people want to help you, but I didn't want to ask for more than I could pay back.
Yeah.
But in doing so, I kind of screwed everybody out of seeing what that album could have really done, because we made the record, did some PR, and it just seemed like so much money. I was like, I'm gonna go play keys for a living. I'll play keys with Brandon Jenkins, and I play keys with Seth James, and that was actually my first gig, and I think that was my first like pro level gig. I played keys with this guy Seth James, who I think is a great blues man and songwriter that happens to be from Texas, and he was the other dude in The Departed at first, but he's such a badass blues dude. We would be in the band and he'd play like, here's a song I wrote, or he'd play a Chris Stapleton song. He's like, this guy is doing demos in Nashville. This was like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, this guy's doing demos in Nashville, and he used to deliver pizzas, but he doesn't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, and he writes songs like this, and he sings like this, and he's in Nashville.
Yeah.
That was Chris Stapleton.
Yeah.
And now look, where Chris
Mhm.
Stapleton is, but
It's crazy just how many cuts he's had.
yeah.
Before Trapper came out.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I think at the time he had written something for Josh Turner, like, or that song "Just to Be Your Man," or
Mhm.
I was like, this is cool. This reminds me of the music I grew up on, the good country music, but it's doing something else, And when I think about Stapleton every day, now that I live in Nashville, and it's like, he like really did the hard work. Like, I've been kind of writing songs with people for their records. Like this week I did 2 different rides with 2 different people. And I guess I've written 3 songs this week, but that's just at 10 a.m. every day. I can get up and I can go write with another person who sold 1 million records.
Yeah.
And and they're excited about my ideas, and it's just fun. It's like a different instrument. And Chris Stapleton did that for years, and everybody knew he was the best at, and just, they feel that dude in their hearts, like he embodies this country thing that's not, it is country, but it's not secondhand, it's not it's him,
Mhm.
and he did the hard work, and he got up every day, and he wrote with people, and now it's like, I can't believe he had so many hits, but that was decades of him getting up and doing the work of it. I mean,
Yeah.
3 songs a week, every week for 10 years maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Where are you at now? Like, what are you, as far as like whatever your next record coming out? Like, where are you in
So-
that process? What's?
It should be out. It will be out in July, late July. It's called Dirty Wonder, and I signed with it. I can't really talk about it, but it's been a long time coming because I made a record, and then some people a label had it, and they weren't releasing it, and then it just got really messy. But I put this out. We're putting it out ourselves, and I've had some executive producers like Adam Duritz come in from Counting Crows and kind of help me make a record. And it's the greatest breakup record ever written. I'm really happy I got to do it. I'm ready to tour on it.
Yeah. You worked with Bo, right?
Bo Bedford, yeah, who Paul Coughlin worked
Yeah.
with. So I was recording some of this stuff was recorded at Adam Duritz's house in the Village in New York City, by the Bowery. And we were recording, and there's a song on there that I wrote called Hadrian. And Adam has had, like, I tried to, like, get him to kind of produce, a little bit, but he's like, I'm not a producer, let's get some real
Yeah.
producers. So Gordy Quist from the band Heathens produced it, and then he went on the road, and I wanted to get it out, Gordy's a busy guy, and he's a great producer, but he understood that it was time to get it out. And I was in New York, and I was trying to get Adam Duritz to sing on this one song, because, like, first of all, he's my favorite, one of the greatest lyricists of all time, one of the greatest frontmen of all time. And in that first, every record he could have, like, checked out a long time ago, but he's still like, the song on his new record, Palisades Park, is just like, it's one of the greatest songs ever written, and it's so him, and it's so, I love everything about it, but he still makes great music, but it's just like it's almost like using, it's almost like over the top to have Adam Duritz sing on something, because, like, what are the songs you can think of that he sings? Like, Fifth Avenue Heartache by the Wallflowers.
Yeah.
And then
He sings
Answering Bell on for
That's what I
Ryan
was gonna
Adams.
say.
And it's just like these, like, totally iconic, over the top, like, monster hits to me, and like anybody who gives a shit about songwriting, like, and who grew up when I did, like, that's. So I was like, why don't you sing on this song? And it was halfway, like, I'm in his house, I'm sitting at this, like, 30-foot long glass table looking out on New York City there, and in this, like I think Nora Jones, like, lived upstairs, and in this, like, it's a whole floor. I mean, it's just an amazing place, and it's just, we were recording it, and we're using, like, I was like, oh, I need an electric guitar, and he's like, how about this guitar? I was like, is that the guitar from the Mr. Jones video? Like, like, using all this gear, and it's actually on that song, but, so he comes in, and he's like, I want you to, I don't know anything about Pro Tools, I just knew enough, like, I have a little rig, so I can record parts that I want to record, with one mic or two mics, and he's like, we need to extend this part, and I was like, okay. I was like, I don't know, and I'm, like, Googling, like, how to, like, extend apart, and like the drums have already been laid down, you know. And so there's an edit in the song, and oh, I don't know
How to do.
and I tried for like 2 hours, and I was like, get on Instagram, like I'm like, who can I send this to? Like, there's some engineers in Austin, like, can you do this right now? Because Adam wants to sing, and he's like kind of like, I could tell he wants to sing that day, and I don't know how to do the edit. And Bo Bedford of Modern Electric Sound Recorders in Dallas, which is now just like, it's my favorite studio in the world. He's one of the greatest minds I've ever been around, and he just happens to be a producer, and just he might be the, you know, what has happened in Lubbock. To me, he's like masterminding this Dallas, Texas gentleman thing, and I didn't know anything about Bo. I just knew he was an engineer-ish, and I knew he was a producer, and he was happened to be in New York. And I said, will you come over? I'm at Adam's house. I'm not trying to like, I assumed he knew, but I wasn't trying to name drop. I was just like, he's like, where are you? And I was like, I don't know, I'm at Adam's house. And here's the address. So, but it's like a real deal New York building, and so Bo like takes a cab, and he's there. It takes him an hour to get there, and he's downstairs, and the doorman won't let him up. You know, and I'm like up there, like furiously trying to figure out how to do this edit thing, and he finally comes up, and Adam opens the door to this, you know, palatial New York apartment, and it's like, have you ever seen Big?
Yeah.
You know how there's like a game room, and then there's like, is that Big, where he like has his own place, and it's, anyways, I'm mixing stuff up, but it's just, when he opens the door, you think it's gonna be a tiny New York apartment, and it turns out to be a like whole floor, and just giant windows, and like the piano he writes on, and like a game room, and all the coolest like sports memorabilia. I don't know.
Yeah.
All the comic books, all the like. I feel like I'm like saying too much about this guy's house. But it's, you know, you've just stepped in this, and just amazing artwork, and like you've stepped in somewhere, and he walks in, and he's like, is Kay here? And I'm like from like 2 football fields where I'm like, hey Bo, nice to meet you. You know, like, and I run over and I shake his hand. I'm like, can you do this edit? And he does the edit, and you want to work with people who are calming and like basically the opposite of me. He's a Zen master, and he just sat down and he started doing the edit. He did it in 5 minutes, and he was like, I got a guitar idea. And I was like, oh, this motherfucker has a guitar idea? Have at it, Haas. And then he picks up the guitar from the Mr. Jones video and plays what is now the hook to the song called Hadrian. You haven't heard it yet, but it was just like, oh, that was the hook that made the song. And it sounds like the Counting Crows. Like, it reminds me like that, you know, those great guitar sounds they have. It's kind of like bright, and it really cuts through, and it's just a hook. You know, everything they do is hooks. Hooks. And I was like, okay, that was good. And then Adam comes in, and I've got to like let Adam. I like have to release Adam into the arms of this dude he's never worked with, and it's very you can be very vulnerable when you have to sing harmonies on somebody's record. Somebody else is going to record, and I'm just like praying to God that Bo is quick and he is cool and doesn't kill the vibe, and they stacked he did like 7 different harmony parts, and they stacked it all. I was like, all right, that's great, and they did it in 5 minutes. And then that night it was like movie night in his theater, and like all his friends came over, and he was like, hey everybody, and we like come to this back room and listen to this song, and like we sat there and like listened to the song we just recorded in that house, and everybody was just like, yeah. And then we went and watched this movie called Boys from Brazil. The Boys from Brazil, I don't know if it's an old movie about. Anyways, it was was a really neat experience, and Bo passed the test, and I think a lot of dudes would have buckled. And so I went to Bo's studio in Dallas just to kind of return the favor and like book some time, give him some money, and because he did all this for free. And he showed me his studio, and it was like something out of Mad Men, you know, like just all the best gear. And the space was built. It was an old commercial, like they made jingles there, and just 40-foot ceilings and just like old school kind of space. And I was like, this is the place. So we did all the overdubs there, and Bo ended up being one of the 2 producers, which I've never done. I was just like one producer, but you know, now you listen to like any song on main stream radio, and there's like 10 producers on any song.
Yeah.
You know, this was so 2 producers. I didn't think it was a bad deal. But Bo is a Zen master, and he's one of the greatest producers alive. Mm-hmm. And I hope people get to realize that he played. So also, what made me realize he needed to be a part of this, he played Paul's record, some of Paul's stuff for me, and I'd known Paul since Sons of Fathers, and we'd come down to Lubbock a few times.
Yeah.
One time together, like do a song swap, and I've always, I just always thought Paul was.
Yeah.
When I saw Sons of Fathers, you know, you see a duo, 2 songwriters, and you're like, who's the motherfucker here? Who's the one I like? You know, and I like them both, but coming from where I came from in West Texas, and coming from like my grandmother was big in the church, and my great grandmother, my great grandfather was a pastor, and in the Baptist church, and it was just like there was no dancing, there was a lot of notes.
Yeah.
But there was the organ, and there were the great songs. And Paul came from Church of Christ, and I was like, who's got this gospel influence? And for a long time, I just figured it was David, because David's dad played with Earl Keen. And now we kind of see like, oh well, they're both great, but Paul is my dude. Like mm-hmm. If I had to, not that you have to pick one, but I was like, this guy was bringing the thing I like, and he was starting to play his what has turned into the record that's coming out called My Gospel, and I think we ate the weed and like a handle of Jack, and he picked me up in Dallas at somebody's darling house, and we drove to Lubbock, and I think that night Paul almost made it through 3 songs in the song swap before he had to go lie down in the van. But I mean, he tore the roof off the place before he did. I think it was me, Charlie Shafter, Daniel Markham, and Paul Coughlin, mm-hmm. who were all just juggernauts.
Yeah.
And recognized as so in Lubbock, and it was like, that was another time where I was like, shit, I gotta fucking sing after this dude.
Yeah. That was a fucking...
After he does Flatlands.
Yeah, I remember that show, because that was like the...
That's the night the girl stripped in the back because she was mad at her boyfriend.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Is it
like butt naked?
I don't remember that at all.
Because she was mad at her boyfriend.
I can believe that.
Mm.
But, yeah.
Poor guy.
But, you know, when I first heard of Bo was through Jordan and Brandon. Like,
oh yeah, Rise and Shine.
Yeah. And
yeah, he lives with Brandon.
So they would, Jonathan would come to Lubbock, right, and play, and we'd go back to like the Castle's house for like after party stuff. And Jordan and Brandon would always like, I don't know, I guess it was maybe like 4 or 5 years back. And they'd be like, "Do you know who Bo Bedford is?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, "No, I've never heard of him." And he's gonna be like, he's that guy who's bringing Dallas music back.
Yeah.
He's gonna like, he's the guy like we're all. And like in a way, like he, especially Jordan, like in a way, it kind of felt like if you were just dropped in on the conversation, it felt like, man, he's talking about like a cult leader, because he's just like
it is that way a little bit.
He is the guy. And then like, you know, now you're looking at all the stuff all the people he's worked with.
Right.
You know, like it's like Jonathan Tyler.
Right.
Paul Gotham, he did like the Room Sounds record.
Right.
Curry Brown.
Quaker, he's done a Quaker thing. He did a Leon record before Leon blew up.
Like all of these dudes
in
Dallas, and it's like he did the part of the Rise and Shine record, you know, some of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like Larry G too, right?
Larry G, yeah.
It's like, I think like whatever he's doing is like he's pushing the, I guess like the sound in his direction,
right?
You know, and it's something it's been needed,
right?
You know, like if you think about like Lubbock, I mean not Lubbock, but Texas producers, like there's not really been a dude in Texas in a while,
right?
Since like Lloyd Maines,
yep,
who's been like that guy. Like a lot of these Texas guys, they all go up to Nashville,
right,
to record records, which, you know, a lot of them are still doing that.
Mm.
But, you know, he's been a good
oh yeah,
pusher.
Yeah, in a way that's like benevolent. Like if he'd asked for $100 to come to Adam Duritz's house and record, I would have had it. I couldn't have been like, I mean, he understands also that like it's more about the music, but he's willing to put, you know, his money where his mouth is, and to put the hard work in before. Like a lot of people shoot themselves in the foot by going like, I need to get paid first.
Yeah.
And that's not the way it works, you know. Like people get paid when there's money there, you know. Like sometimes you gotta put in the elbow grease, and not be so short-sighted. Like he, you know, like a lot of this, I wouldn't have been able to make this record if he hadn't, you know, helped me and like done stuff for free. Like, I mean, I really hope nobody's like gonna listen to this and go like, oh, well, you went to Adam Duritz's house and did that thing for free. Why don't you come to my house? Like, that was just a freak occurrence. And since then, I mean, that was over a year and a half ago. I think he's, you know, his price has gone up because the Paul record's about to come out, like Rise and Shine, like Quaker City.
But like also though, it's not like he's you know, just taking every guy.
Yeah, he doesn't do.
You know, he's not doing like just.
He only does what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Right. So. There's that, but also like his cultivation of the Texas Gentleman, which is you know, like the Wrecking Crew or the Swampers.
Yeah.
But it's a collective of just the best musicians you've ever seen, and they all look like they stepped out in 1970. I think they all kind of, but they're all like Dallas boys. Like they kind of grew up from the people I've met. Like grew up with the church influence, and they're still Southern. Like a lot of them are married or have been married, and I kind of hate it that a lot of them are moving here, but you have to get away to bring it back, or to ever, you know, you have to go out into the world. But his creation, or what I think is of his like cultivation of this group, the Texas Gentleman, is such a special thing, and you never see that, like with the songwriters in Lubbock.
Dovetail too. Didn't Bo do Dovetail?
Yeah, so Dovetail, those guys grew up in the church, and it's two brothers, Philip Creamer, who lives here, and Philip, he's one of the greatest singers I've ever heard.
I didn't know he was up here.
Yeah, he lives here, and his brother, Daniel Creamer, you know, is one of the greatest musicians I've ever seen at any instrument. And like I just sat in with this band, this blues band in Dallas called the Trophy Wives, and Daniel was gonna play keys, and I was gonna play keys, and I was like, I'm not playing piano, Daniel. I'll play organ. He can play piano. Yeah, he's one of the greatest I've ever seen, and he's so young and so good, and everybody's keeping their nose clean and their head down, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen, what the future holds for these people, because they're not like the beautiful loser, like they're well adjusted.
Mm-hmm.
They love great music and they're willing to work for it.
Yeah. That Dovetail record is like one of the
Out of this
best
world.
sounding records.
Yeah.
You know, like the harmonies on that thing.
Yeah.
They've played at Blue Light a few times, and it's like you listen to the record and you're like, oh, there's no way they can recreate.
Yeah, they do it.
And they do, and it's just like, how the hell are they doing that? Like,
Yeah.
it's that fucking good. Like the harmonies are just perfect.
And that's
I guess it's like
Phillips
3-part.
and Matt McDonald, who also plays in the Trophy Wives. He's an amazing. Phillips is the older brother,
Mm-hmm.
and then Daniel is the younger brother and has a band with McDonald, and it's called the Mysteries, and they're kind of like psychedelic Beatles.
I've heard some of that stuff actually.
So good.
Yeah.
I would never recommend it. I wouldn't. How did the Blue Light thing go with Dovetail?
They opened for Jonathan, so.
Oh, okay, that'd be good.
Yeah.
I kind of don't wish the Blue Light on all my artistic friends.
Yeah.
They
They opened up for Jonathan one time.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Or I guess like I don't know, maybe they did it both times. I'm not sure. I know
Like-
at least one was with Jonathan. It was
Yeah.
pretty fucking fun.
Like Rise and Shine is great for the Blue Light.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather Dovetail play, like a theater or
Wild West.
yeah, like open for Kyle Park and Billy Roger Krieger.
Yeah.
It's more cerebral and it's more
Mm-hmm.
just belongs somewhere else,
Yeah. I think a lot of people liked it though. It
Yeah.
wasn't like,
Well, it's no joke. When you see it live, you're like, it's undeniable.
yeah, but you sometimes do see that where like a band will open up for someone who is established in Lubbock,
Mhm.
and it's like, oh, people enjoyed that,
Mhm.
and then like, I think sometimes it's kind of like a little bit of a fool's gold,
Yeah.
because maybe the next time they're like, oh well, they love this, like let's do a Friday ourselves, and then it's
Yeah.
like, well, not as many people come as anticipated,
Right.
and I think sometimes like bands like that, they need to be support for like
Yeah.
maybe more than you would think. Like
Right.
let's open up for whoever 10 times,
Yeah.
overkill it before actually doing it.
Yeah.
Which is weird because, like Sons of Fathers. Here's an example. Sons of Fathers, when they were right before they broke up, they'd play Blue Light on like a Wednesday or a Tuesday or a Thursday and sell out. People would come and it'd be fucking amazing and
Mhm.
just sell out the room, right? And Paul played, I guess it was like a month back now, and it was a Friday and nobody came.
Yeah,
just
listen to
because
that podcast.
Yeah,
And Daniel Kramer was.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, what's up, Daniel?
yeah. He
Yeah.
just walked through, yeah.
Yeah.
But like that show, like there was less than 25 people there.
Shit.
And it's just one of those like, you guys don't fucking know. Like the reason like
And
nobody's
it's like,
coming is because
dude, you
they don't
people already
realize it's-
love Sons
Yeah.
of Fathers and you love these songs. Like he'll probably play a few of them.
Yeah. But it was just like
Mm.
you know that Paul doesn't want to be like Paul, formerly of Sons of Fathers, on like any kind of bill or something. Like
No.
that. But
It might.
like,
I mean,
it would,
whatever gets people through the door first. But
I think like you have to just do that like on the radio or something.
Yeah.
Or, any kind of social media. Like, hey, Paul Cawthon is playing at the Blue Light.
Yeah.
You love him because he was in Sons of Fathers.
right.
And like, or maybe, like I hope it's not this way. I hope it's not that, like Lubbock's the college sound, and so there's turnover.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Graduation.
hope that like those people are just already graduated out.
Yeah.
Like who the fuck sons of fathers now? Like,
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
you know?
Oh my
Which
God.
does happen, you know, sometimes with bands that that's one of those things where every once in a while you hear, man, you should have saw blah blah blah.
Yeah,
back,
like Sons of Fathers,
like 4
we
years
opened
ago.
up for them in Blue Light. And,
Yeah.
God damn it, that band was amazing.
Yeah.
And I was upset when I heard they were breaking up, and you're like, that's gonna be a hard road to hoe, you know.
Mm-hmm. They were, the day they broke up, they were like playing Blue Light 2 days from that announcement.
Did they play?
No.
Yeah.
It was one of those like,
Shit, they probably would have
they
sold
broke
it out.
It was like, I think they broke up, like or at least announced it on a Monday, and they were playing Blue Light that Wednesday. And my first thought was like, fuck, man. Like, you know, one of my favorite bands has just broke up.
Yeah.
My second thought was, oh, I hope they like finish out like these like
Yeah.
next 3 dates or something. And then my next thought was, wow, what are they gonna do with the music that has not been put out yet?
Yeah.
Is it like
I think they still put it out, right?
Yeah, they ended up putting it out like.
What are you gonna do?
on, like,
You
a
already
double
spent the
record
money.
thing, which
Yeah.
I'm sure like somebody. It's not as big. It definitely wasn't as big as like those first 2 records.
Yeah.
And obviously
Because
there's
there's no
more,
tour support
Yeah,
behind
there's
it.
nothing.
Tour
And
support.
you know I think it's like 18 songs long.
Yeah.
So it's way longer than it.
Yeah.
Anything like they've
It's all
really
Paul
done.
songs that he wanted on there, and then all David's songs that he wanted on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you listen to those 2 Sons of Fathers records, they're short, especially.
Yeah.
Burning
Well,
Days.
they know how to.
Burning Days was like.
I love that. I love a record that.
What was
can,
that, like 30, 33,
Yeah.
35 minutes? or
Anything
something
that can
like
fit on a vinyl,
Mhm.
it's got to be under 39 minutes or 40 minutes, you know,
Mhm.
or you start to degrade. And I love that shit.
Yeah.
I love a great 3-minute song.
Hey guys, we took like a little, 30-minute break right here. So there's not really a good way to put these 2 conversations back together without sounding weird. So I thought, hey, I'll just go ahead and say something here instead of running it straight through. So yeah, here we go.
Throwing anybody under the bus. And I wanted to give props to Texas, but it's truthful. Like, you don't move here to fuck around. Like, you move here because you believe in yourself and you believe in the magic that is music, you know, and songwriting.
Yeah.
So
I think it's like if I was moving up here, I wouldn't. For some reason, I don't feel like I would move up here to stay.
yeah, that's not the goal either.
Like it would be to move up here.
To move up here because
And
I really
be
love
here.
hot chicken.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really.
But like I feel like at some point I'd have to go back to Texas. You know.
Yeah. I want those comfort foods, and I want those dark-haired girls around me, and I want to see the Alamo, and I want to see, you know, Hotel Havana, San Antonio, and just these. Like, we have culture. Like, I want to see the Panhandle Plains, and I want to be able to go to a hole-in-the-wall Mexican food restaurant in the middle of the night and eat, you know. Or
Yeah.
you just don't get that here, and it's fine. Like, I had to move here because at 10 a.m. every day I could get up and go write with some other artist that sold 1 million records, and I could write with another great songwriter, and it means you have to give some things up, but there's no place in the world like Nashville.
Yeah.
For, you know, honing your craft, and for like, I moved here, and within 6 months we were on a major tour. We're now on a major booking agency. We're putting out a record.
Yeah.
And
It's because like the industry's here, you know.
the industry's here.
the structure.
Right. But every week I'm writing with people that they live in nice houses and all they do is play music.
Mm-hmm.
And all they do is put out records. And they need songs, and I want to help them write those songs. And it's inspiring to go to somebody's like horse ranch and be like, how'd you pay for this?
Yeah.
Oh, by playing music? By singing songs that people like me wrote, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so next time you're playing Blue Light, that's in September.
Right. Yeah.
You're playing Red Rocks the day before.
The day before we play Red. Really, the day before?
That's what you said.
I think, yeah.
You said
September 19th, we play Red Rocks.
Yeah. And then the day after you're playing Blue Light. What's
and
what is this tour? Like, how long are you out for?
We're out for 40 days, 40 dates. It's 10 weeks. And we're playing with the Counting Crows. And it's all my dream places to play, like Red Rocks, the Greek Theater.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted to play in Toronto. You know, we're playing the Molson Center in Toronto. We're playing in the brand new Coney Island Amphitheater that I read like stupid architectural magazines and like everybody's raving about this new amphitheater, and it's just so great. And we get to go out with a band who like the guitar player Emmy, when he plays in California where he's from, he'll play the Greek Theater. And I heard this from the band that opened last year. He'll play the Greek Theater, it'll be sold out, and then that night he's going to play his regular weekly gig in Laurel Canyon, you know?
Yeah.
Or maybe not Laurel Canyon, maybe it was... Yeah, one of the I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But these people, and Adam is always writing, Adam is always creating, he's always absorbing, he's always watching movies and reading and listening to new bands and helping new bands, and he's always been great, but in a lot of ways, like, he's still getting greater, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing that guy live is so inspiring. And just being around people who believe in the healing powers of a great song, of a great record. And I watched people, I followed them through all their Texas shows last year, and just people come out and they know every word. And every night is a totally different set list.
Yeah.
And he writes it right beforehand. And, you know, they played in Allen the night before Allen, Texas was right outside of Dallas, and they played Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion, the Woodlands, the night before that, and the Woodlands show was just like all the hits. He had them right in the middle of, you know, in the palm of his hand, and it was the next night. It was more like B-side stuff and newer stuff, and everybody knew every word, and it didn't matter what he played.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have to play Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
And people were like just so into it. And I love that generation, you know, the generation where people were still buying CDs and people needed music.
Because like really like the last time, like mid-90s, late 90s was when people were still buying CDs. Like your mom and dad would go buy a CD, right?
Like my mom,
the last generation
introduced me to the Counting Crows.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being in middle school and like listening to August and everything after, and just being like not even being a teenager yet, but like so identifying with that wasteland, you know, that lonely land that he was like singing of, you know. And
the first time I heard Counting Crows was at summer camp.
Yeah.
I was at summer camp, and one of my counselors was playing it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think it was like 96 or 97. So I was like 8 or 9. And I remember him playing that. We were going to bed, and he played Counting Crows, and he played Dave Matthews, which like I'm not the biggest Dave Matthews fan. I think like Crash Into Me.
Don't worry,
like,
he's got
album,
enough fans.
Yeah. I remember him playing "Crash Into Me" or is it "Crash"? Is the name of the album "Crash" or "Crash Into Me"? It's the one that has the song "Crash." I don't know if it's. I know it's "Crash" and "Crash Into Me."
I think
I'm not
the
sure
record
which one
is called "Crash."
I'm not sure if the song is called "Crash" or "Crash Into Me."
Maybe "Crash"
or vice
and then
versa.
Parentheses "Into Me."
Regardless, that's the record he played, and like that has like what is it, two-stepping, I think, or something like that. I don't know. I've not listened to this record in a while, but he would. I remember those two records specifically. Him playing as like an 8-year-old and being like, "Dude, that's what college kids listen to." Like,
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? And
Yeah, my mom was in college.
yeah, I remember. That's the first experience. Like the first time I really heard stuff like that was not my parents' music.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like my mom was always like into like 80s metal kind of stuff, and
So
my dad was like
funny.
into just country music.
Yeah.
You know? But
It's almost like when your parents, I think at first when your parents are into something, it's not cool. You know, because that's like and you want your own stuff.
Yeah.
To be your music.
Yeah.
But the Counting Crows were like one of the first bands where I was like, well, this is undeniable.
Yeah.
And I think I was like listening to Sublime.
Yeah.
Too then, and that was like my favorite band.
Sublime.
And, yeah.
I think like everyone listens to Sublime at one point and thinks like they're like, oh, this is how fucking music's supposed to be.
It's just
Some Santeria.
the sexuality and like the reggae and the punk rock and this, I don't know, the guy was a holy terror. He was like just such a special thing. And I mean, you still listen to those records, and that record is so great, and it's inimitable.
Yeah. At the same time, like you listen to it and you go, this music right here could have only been done from 90 to 99.
When you can wear like cargo shorts.
There's
and
no way this was
Vans.
like made in the 80s, or the 70s, or any other, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's undeniably 90s.
It is that.
You know, it's kind of funny about stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think, you know, that August and Everything After, or Recovering the Satellites is like, it's the same way, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And but now if you played August and Everything After, and you branded it as like Americana, like it would be the best Americana album.
Yeah.
Out. You know.
Yeah.
It's T-Bone Burnett.
Mm-hmm.
But,
okay, so 10 weeks.
10 weeks.
Like what's okay?
38 dates with them, and then we're doing our own shows around it. Like we'll play Red Rocks with them, and then we want to come play the Blue Light.
You couldn't convince Adam to have a Lubbock date? Come on. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
He, you know, we talked about it, and he loves the Blue Light. No, he doesn't. He's never heard of it. Maybe he has.
What? Okay, what's like the longest you've been out? Like on a tour?
10 weeks. Well, at my level, it's like there's no point. Like my life, I'm always on tour in a way, but there's no reason for me to be out for more than 3 weeks ever.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason to play a Tuesday night or a Monday night in Memphis, you know, like to make the best out of it, it's better to just, especially living in Nashville, it's like in the middle of the country. It's better to just do jaunts for maybe a week or two. Other than that, I'm just wasting money.
Yeah.
But because all I do is music, there's no reason to come back. And I mean, I've been out for a month before, but it was never like, oh, it was more like, oh, well, I'm going to go play a few shows and then I'm going to fuck off for a while in Santa Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
I've never gone out for more than 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason, and you just hemorrhage money if you do.
Yeah. Well, like there's a lot of, you know, Texas guys who, you know, Texas is primarily just like weekend warrior kind of stuff, right?
Right.
And I'm sure like there's a lot of
those
that
guys
all
make
over the place.
more in a weekend than normal rock bands make their whole tour.
Yeah. But then there's also guys who, and typically, you know, they're playing solo by themselves, and sometimes they're out like just forever, and it doesn't feel like they ever are not touring.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because they're out every weekend.
not just every weekend. I know I'm talking about like just like guys who are just playing, and you look at their tour schedule, and it's just like
Never ending.
never ending.
Like guys that like a Slade Cleaves, maybe like.
Okay, well, like the one guy I'm thinking of is my buddy Christian Lee Hudson.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think he lives here too, or
Oh,
he
wow.
was there for a while. I don't know if he's living here now. I take that back.
Yeah.
I know he was in here for a while. And
Oh, Drew Kennedy
Drew, does he do that?
is out a lot,
Yeah.
but he always comes back because he has
Mhm. I know, like
a
he's
family.
yeah, but like I know Christian was just kind of like Chris was just out for like I'm just booking as
Oh, booking as.
well, not like he would have at least like 3 weeks or something like that in advance. But then like he was always
But
constantly
while he was
working.
on the road, he could still.
Yeah, he was working at getting that 4th week done, that 5th week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just I could do
But
that.
he loved that.
Yeah,
You know.
I could do that, but I noticed that when we did that with American Girls and we were out, like I needed to come back to write because it's hard for me to write on the road, and I want to keep writing, and there's songs I haven't written yet, and like I feel like I need to write these songs before I die, and I want to put them out. And on the road, it's almost like running away from it, you know. And it's you're not doing the smart work. Some guys are doing the smart. Maybe like Townes Van Zandt did exactly what he was supposed to do, but for me, when I'm on the road, I get distracted, and I don't write, and I just hang, and I absorb, and it's great, but
It feels like there's not enough time.
it feels like I'm running away from what I need to be doing.
Yeah. I think like people, they don't realize, when you're on the road, like there's not enough time. Like you don't account for the time where it's like, oh, load in, sound check, just waiting, checking like into your motel, checking out, like finding a place to eat. Like that takes time.
Yeah.
Driving in places that you've never been before.
Yeah.
It takes time to do all of that shit, and there's never really enough time to just actually work on a craft.
Yeah. Yeah, and I
Or
mean,
it's
actually,
distracting,
the other way could also be like not touring could be running away too, or hiding from it. You got to do both at this point.
Yeah. Okay, so like earlier we were talking about, you were talking to this guy about making you working on your guitars and shit like that.
Right.
Like okay, and this is all just not primarily for this tour, but like you're trying to get all this shit ready.
No, for this tour, like I want,
And
I've always wanted, but until I got to a certain place, I couldn't have it. Like I wanted a guitar that was my guitar and didn't sound like anybody else's guitar. That was my favorite players and my heroes were the people that didn't have means. Like they couldn't buy like the brand new Strat, or they couldn't buy the brand new amp. They just had to play whatever crap they had, and the tone was in their fingers, and like and those people even inspired like the people who are my heroes, like Ry Cooder. Like Ry Cooder, his like Cooder caster has 2 pickups in it. One is like a Valco Hawaiian lap steel guitar pickup in the bridge, and in the neck is like this guitar pickup called a Silvertone. Called a Gold Foil, which was in guitars like Teisco Del Rey's, which and Silvertones, which you bought with food stamps, and like the Chicago Bluesmen, that was their pickup. And he wasn't having, like, he wasn't getting like the brand new Fender Strat from a company and like having it like just tweaked to be like the perfect thing. It had vibe, and so that's what I'm searching for. Gamble Guitar Works is making a guitar for me. I found out about them from the band Heathens, Gordy Quist. Those guys, they play almost exclusively Gamble's guitars, and then Wade, our drummer, is building guitars now for me, and the idea is like, let's make something that almost doesn't even look like it works. Like one pickup, one knob, because when you pick up a guitar and play it live, you're not going to be doing, like, you want to be there. Like as a front man that plays guitar, I want to have as little to fuck with as possible.
Yeah.
and I just want to put it on and it just sound great. And I don't want options. I don't want knobs because as like an ADD kid, like I'm gonna be fucking with it the whole time. I need just one guitar, one pickup, and then so Wade's building guitars for people, including me and some other people in Nashville, and they look. I mean, like he's like. It just looks like some old Chicago blues musician. This guitar, or like this like alternate reality space. Like if the Fender Strat had never come out, but it had come out with like one pickup instead of 3, and it had like almost this like reverse futuristic thing, but it looks beat up, and like it's a guitar you could take to a gig. You don't have to worry about, but at the same time, people, every time somebody sees one of Wade's guitars or Gamble's guitars, they're like, what is that? Is that a 52 Telly? Like, oh, tell me about it. And I almost hate like going like, no, my buddy builds them.
Yeah.
You know, but they're just like showstoppers at the same time. They're just players. And if I lost one, I'd be out not that much money, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I could have him make another one.
Yeah.
And so I like that, and I like things that are just simple. And so my other friend Chad Beck is building an amp for me, and I like bass amps. I like 50s bass amps that have tubes in them, and like at one time there was like Fender was making like your amp was like your PA, and it was your accordion amp or something. Like there were inputs for the accordion on there, and like they were very like bassy and round and not bright, but they were just warm, and like stuff doesn't have to cost $1,000 for an amp or $2,000 for a guitar. How about a guitar that, you know, has like $400 in part, like, or less? Like, how about a guitar that costs $200 to make? Let's just make that and see what we can do with that. You know, because it's the player, it's not the gear, but maybe let's see what we can do with almost nothing.
Yeah,
you know, and that's what I like. And I feel like people hear with their eyes too. So Chad's like building something that kind of looks like old hi-fi gear. I don't know. That's just me, like getting into weird shit, but also like trying to make it more about the player and less about having the money. You know, like why can't a $200 guitar be fucking cool and like something that people would play now? I also play flat wounds, and I play pretty clean, and I play with my fingers. So it's more of a muted percussive sound. Being a piano player, a keys player, I'm pretty limited. Like I can't be like, hey, build me a piano.
Yeah.
You know, I can be like, build me an organ, because those things were built and they're perfect already, and you can't really haul them around that much. But so with the guitar, it's nice you can put stuff together and play and make your own sound, and I love that. I think that all comes from like being broke and being, like wanting something.
Yeah, it's the it's a Trisha song, Jamie Lynn Wilson.
Yeah,
like the invention is the mother of necessity. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's
yeah. When you have 5 kids, you probably got to do that.
Yeah, you got to do.
Man, I love her music.
Yeah,
we do a song swap once a year in Columbus, Texas, in this 100-year-old dance hall, and it's just for people that come in and sit down and shut up and listen to songwriters, and it's I feel like I get my ass handed to me every time, because it's Jamie Lynn Wilson, Drew Kennedy, who's one of the greatest storyteller, singer-songwriter, one-man band. I mean, not one-man band, but like you give him an acoustic guitar, he's gonna make everybody be quiet, and like you're just in the throes with whatever he's speaking about. And then Owen Temple, who's one of my favorite songwriters, and just the same way, but so funny and has a great like grasp of heartbreaking and humorous,
Yeah. So okay, New record.
It's called Dirty Wonder. So the Concho Pearls was a band, and my girlfriend was my bass player. And so if you want to like lose your band and your girlfriend, you should put your girlfriend in your band. So the record was a long time coming, but it was about like dealing with that at first. And I had made this record called Fall Down House that didn't come out, and that was mostly that. And then it was like, and then the record is about like, oh, I'm not gonna die. My life is not over. It's pretty okay to be like,
yeah,
a single dude in the world, and also, wow, I'm like a filthy dude, and it's just like kind of a meditation in like being a being a dirtbag, I guess. But Bo Bedford and Gordy Quist produced it, and Rick Richards played drums again, but Ricky Ray Jackson, who played with Phosphorescent and played with Nikki Lane a little bit, came in and played guitar on pedal steel, and Scott Davis from the Band of Heathens plays bass on the record, and I love slide guitar, and my buddy Keegan Reed from the Reed Brothers, you got to check them out, played slide guitar, and Bo played some guitar. The girls who sing with the Texas Gentlemen, they sing on my record, Hannah Cook and Taylor Lumbee, and they're coming out this summer with us, including one girl from Nashville, so we're going to have 3 beautiful dark-haired girls singing back up with us.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a great record, and then I can't wait for people. I don't want to say I can't wait for people to hear it, but it's opened a lot of doors, like just the few people who've heard it in private SoundCloud links here in Nashville, and
yeah.
I'm ready to make another record.
Did you say like July you were thinking?
Late July it'll come out. We go on tour. The first date is July 22nd. Dirty Wonder should come out right after that. It's going to be out on vinyl. And so the live band, we all live together. And I met them after. I'd always known them, but my band is like they're called Somebody's Darling. And they play in Somebody's Darling, but they're also, we all live together, and they're backing me up too. So it's David Ponder on guitar, Wade Kofer on drums, and Michael Talley on bass. And Michael and I grew up together in San Angelo.
Oh, really?
And so when Stephanie and I like parted ways, he came and started playing bass with us when he could. But Somebody's Darling is taking time off to write a record. So Amber, the front woman, writes more songs. They're coming out this summer with me, and I think we're going to work it out where we both, they can still exist as Somebody's Darling, and they can still back me up. Mm-hmm. And we are a band now. We rehearse every day, and it's like the best thing I've ever been a part of. And it's so nice to play with like real motherfuckers who, like, as much as I believe in songwriting, they believe in their craft. Like David is practicing every day, listening to Ry Cooder, listening to the right records, working on his slide playing, working on his tone. Wade the same way with his drumming, and Michael with his bass playing. Like these guys either like Wade went to Berkeley, these guys went to UNT. Like they are real dudes who have the right influences, and I just can't wait to bring this band around and show people. Mm-hmm. And I'm really, like, Dirty Wonder is, I was glad to keep doing me, like you've heard songs like Rambler. Well, it's just nice when you can make a record without getting a label involved, if somebody picks it up, who knows, but I made this record with the help of people, and it was nobody told me what to do. I got to do exactly what I wanted to do, and when money people get involved and they want to return, a lot of times they fuck with your art.
Yeah.
And on this, I got to do exactly what I wanted to do, and in the way, and also like because nobody, still we're so like unknown. Like I don't have to like make another American Girls or something. Like I can do whatever I want. I can. I'm not beholden to anyone, money wise or fan wise. But it's just you're gonna need it. People will need it in their record collection.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna have it in mind.
yeah, I'll give you a vinyl. Well, you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I don't know.
Yeah. What's the cover gonna be?
So
I always find it weird. Okay, like I typically don't care about album covers.
Yeah.
Unless they're like really fucking cool. But
the
whenever
cover,
I talk about a record with somebody it's not been out yet.
yeah.
I'm like,
So
I'm wondering what it is.
The cover was shot by one of my favorite photographers, this New York photographer, Mark Abernathy. And he now lives outside of Austin. And I went to go, in the last 6 months, I've been getting into film photography. And he's kind of like been my mentor and like helped me with my own film photography. As somebody who's into art and a craft, like, I feel like it's important that you not only do your craft, like you learn other crafts, and it's always good to be a beginner, and especially songwriters. Like, there's not enough. Like being a songwriter is as much about being a beginner in other artistic endeavors as it is working on your rhymes, working on your voice and your playing, and what you're reading and what you're listening to. So
A renaissance man.
yeah, I mean, and it like a perfect example is somebody like Joe Ely. I hate to bring it back to West Texas.
Like Terry Allen.
Or Terry Allen. Yeah, exactly. Or Guy Clark, who built guitars.
Yeah.
Like a lot of what we do is meditation, and it's getting like it's driving to Lubbock, or it's getting shutting your mind off from actually writing. It's thinking about writing a lot and then like walking away from it and doing something else. So when I'm developing film or when I'm shooting, I'm using another skill, another part of my brain maybe. And when I'm like mixing chemistry, like I'm not thinking about internal rhymes, or I'm not getting stuck on myself. Like, but yeah, so it's informed my writing also. But so Mark is like helping me with my art and photography, and he's showing me what to do and what not to do, and it's been really cool. But he was like, let's shoot some stuff, and I was like, maybe, will you shoot the cover of my record? And also Joshua Black Wilkins shot some stuff for us for the cover, but it came down to Mark's was just better because I don't know, it was rainy that day, and I was being from West Texas, and you hearing stories like Joe Ely has a story about his uncle that had, he was like an oil man, and he was like this wildcatter in West Texas, kind of good old boy, but had like become a millionaire many times over on accident. Like he had driving down the property line to his house, you would see all these wrecked Cadillacs, and what he would do is like on the way to and from Saturday night partying and Sunday at church, sometimes he would wreck his Cadillac, and then instead of doing something about it, he would just leave it there on his property and then go buy another Cadillac the next Monday, and so you drive down this line, and there was this just busted Cadillacs on the way up to his house, and I was kind of telling Mark that story, and I was like, just this idea, is there something very West Texas about being like, maybe like not old money, not like Rockefeller money, or not like Kennedy money, but like this, like if this person was at a yacht club, everybody would be embarrassed by them.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I love that. Like, John Pettit's kind of like that. I mean, no, people would love John Pettit wherever he's around, but he wears before the the tiny Stetson high open road was
Yeah.
cool, and he's got long hair, and sometimes he wears like custom made boots, but sometimes he wears flip flops. But he can shoot a shotgun with the best of them, but he can also tell you what the best wine is with whatever fancy dish you're having, and so I was kind of explaining all that to Mark, and so he's like, all right, meet me at this location. We were in town for South by, and I go to this house, and it's just like on Lake Travis, and it's this dude who had gotten in. Mark's a Mormon, and he goes to church with this guy, and it's this dude who has done really well for himself and got into like some .com thing before. I don't want to give it away, but
Yeah.
you probably know the guy. Anyways, he puts me in this like $10,000 chair, and it's like overstuffed, kind of like green leather and like handmade. And he gives me like this $40,000 watch. And the only reason I know those numbers is because the guy was like, this is why I'm not saying his name. Oh, maybe that was bad to even say that. Anyways, he was like, like walking around his house, like pointing at stuff, like telling me how much everything costs, like showing me his Ferraris. But it was so nice of him he's a cool dude, and it was nice of his friend to show us this stuff and like let us use it as props. And just it looks like that dude who has crashed 15 Cadillacs. Yeah. But made it to church on Sunday. And we did somewhere I was like holding this repeater rifle and like smoking a fucking Cuban cigar, but we decided that was maybe not great for the liberals who were maybe buying the record. So
I find this Cadillac story like
it's the
maybe
best
like
story. Joe Ely is
it's incredible because part of it is it's too unbelievable, but then like it's very believable at the same time. Where it's like, it's like the you a fan of the King of the Hill?
Yes.
What's like Hank's boss name?
Oh,
Hank's
Mr.
boss, like who owns the
exactly.
The whatchamacallit, propane stores, all that shit. I can't think of what his name is, but that's who that is, right?
Exactly.
Like the guy who's crashing Cadillacs.
Yeah, and like getting divorces and like doing thinking with his dick instead of his head. Like. Strickland. Yeah. Strickland Propane.
Yeah, there you go.
That show embodies West Texas.
Yeah.
But yes, exactly. And
one of my favorite things, not to cut you off, one of my favorite things on King of the Hill, I think it's like first episode, or maybe like it's in the first five, within the first five. Bobby and Hank go out of town. I don't know what they're doing, but Peggy like goes to buy shoes. Mm-hmm. She has to drive to Lubbock because she has to get.
They're
like,
such big shoes.
Yeah, like the women, like big shoes for women.
But that was the big town.
Yeah, but like she had to go to Lubbock, like all the way to Lubbock to get these like big. Like
that was like the next big town. Yeah,
it's too good.
Oh, I do want to say also, there's on the back cover is when you see it, you'll get it. But there's like a pretty, I don't know, evocative thing on the back cover, and it relates to the front cover. And then when you see it, you get it, and you realize why the record's called Dirty Wonder. But Dirty Wonder is just like that. To reiterate, like at first I was like, oh, my life's blown apart. What did I do? And I was like, later on I was like, oh, I did that to myself because of my Dirty Wonder. And it's like this. Yeah. I can't help that I'm a guy, and I can help it, but fuck it. Yeah. If I'm in a situation, I'm not saying I wouldn't meet somebody in my life and be like faithful to them, but the shit that got me in trouble, and the reason I got myself into trouble, it's that Dirty Wonder, like, and it's just, I feel like, fuck it, I'm gonna write about that, Yeah. Because like one of the songs is called 18-Year-Old Girls, and yeah, So there's shit like that. But, I mean, it was just the idea, like, tell the honest story. It was go back to the Robert Graves poem, like, just be that character. And, like, that character is unrepentant. And he does, like, bad things, but also that character realizes when they screwed up. Like the song What I Can't Have, Cat Song. It's the guy never says he did anything wrong in the song, you know? Like an asshole is really good at a true asshole is really good at making people feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I'm excited about this new record is going to change people's lives. And they're going to be emboldened in their dirty endeavors. So, and I mean, what's more like you can write about love and you can write about, like, what's better, like, what would make you feel more alive than writing about, like, doing bad things, you know? Like, I feel like it was hard, it was scary to, like, write about, like, to write a song called 18-Year-Old Girls and, like, put that out and, like, go, oh, God, everyone's gonna think I'm a creep. But that's real fucking writing. That's, like, making yourself, it's like opening yourself up to people and, like, saying, like, this is the real shit. Like,
yeah.
And that's what I love. I love, like, that edge of, like, scaring myself and, like, being embarrassed to almost say it, you know, and hoping, and it always does, that it connects, you know, because if I'm afraid to say it, maybe I should say it, you know. So, yes.
Yeah.
And the next record is going to be a party record.
A party record?
Yeah.
Like what kind of party?
I don't know. Like a have fun party record. Like
a
I can't say what the next record is going to be. You know,
I'm trying to think of, like, party records in my head that are, like, good party records. The first thing I thought of actually was LCD Sound System.
Dude, that's what I thought of.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say that. And I was like, nah, that kind of goes without saying. But, yeah. What is that cover? Like, I know what the cover is, but
The one with, like, the disco ball?
No, where he's, like, turned his head and it's, like, Drunk Girls is on there.
Oh, is that the new one? Or the
newest one?
The latest,
Yeah.
The last one? I guess it's technically the last one. It's, what is it called? I'll just look it up real quick. LCD Sound System. I think
Maybe
it's one of those
called
bands
LCD Sound System.
I think a lot of people don't get that band.
Yeah.
Because it's not exactly like the easiest thing for anybody to listen to, even though it's dancey. It's electronic. But I don't know if anyone listening to this record, this is happening.
Yeah, this is happening.
That's what it is. I don't know if any, like, I bet it's, like, probably under 10% of people who are going to listen to this who go, fuck yeah, LCD Sounds.
Well, they should, I mean, songwriters should be listening to everything.
Yeah.
All kinds of music, and they should be delving into making music, making EDM on their laptop, because you can, you know, or I really love Cuban music, and I love
like the Buena Vista.
Yeah, I love
Social
that stuff.
Club,
or
tying it back to Right
Mark
Cougar.
Ribot, who played with Tom Waits, he's like a pretty famed guitar player, has some great, like, Cuban records that you can kind of find on Spotify. But also I love, like, any of that Ennio Morricone kind of soundtrack stuff, and it reminds me in a way of, like, West Texas, even though it's not, like, anywhere, like, Spain is nowhere near West Texas, or Italy, and then, like, Cuba is nowhere near West Texas, but it's, like, on the cusp of, it's not, I don't know, it's just like this pastiche of music that makes it so great. Or like your Fats Domino or your Clifton Chenier kind of Zydeco music that it's blues really, or it's like doo-woppy and bluesy, but there's accordions, you know, like or I love that stuff as much as I probably listen to that stuff more than I listen to my lyricist, you know, like, because for so many years, that's all I listened to was a lyricist, like, and I was really raised on that stuff. I was named after Chris Christopherson, who's a straight up lyricist and one of the greatest writers ever. But I need music. I need music to help me create my own music, you know, because if all I did was listen to lyricists, that wouldn't give me any foundation for other kinds of music to put my lyrics over.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and there is some kind of like, on the new record, there will be some kind of Latin influences that I love. Like when you listen to the Stones, and they bring the Latin vibe sometimes, or like you listen to the Black Crowes, they bring the Latin percussion, and it just takes it to this whole other place.
Yeah.
You know, or when you get people like the Texas Tornadoes, like that's when you create your own sound, or Doug Somm.
Yeah, Texas Tornadoes. That's one of those. Like, I don't know. Sometimes you listen to those records and like you can remember the first time you listened to them. And I remember the first time I saw that album. You know, it's like the fourth, like the self-titled one. And I think they did it, like, there's a Spanish version and an English version.
Yeah.
And it's the same album cover, but it's like Texas Tornadoes,
Right.
and they're all standing out there. And it's like, I don't know who this band is, but like, I want to, the first time you put it on, it sounds so fucking, it sounds like Texas, you know? Like, it sounds like San Antonio. Doug Somm, so underrated as like a songwriter.
Yeah.
And then, like, you throw him.
Hand player.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I love that record, that first record, a lot.
Man, being in Nashville, I really miss the Mexican influence on everything. I mean, they just make everything better.
Mm-hmm.
And like everything's just more decadent. Everything's more colorful. Everything's a party. Everything's about family. Everything's about life, you know, and in love. And like, I miss. Oh God! One time I was, like, I feel like growing up in West Texas, like, I feel like I identify with like, this is gonna sound so fucking white, but like living in Nashville, I start to realize shit about myself. Like, I identify with like my Mexican friends and like the Mexican influence growing up in my life. Like I need tortillas. I need tamales. I need menudo, and I need like these things when I'm hungover, when I'm happy. I want to be around people. I want to go to my girlfriend's family's house on the weekends, or I want to.
Yeah.
It's just like, and then musically, like every like Texas influence that is great to me, like people who are bringing it, like Roger Craig brings it a little bit, and like Joe Ely's got it, and like I thought Joe Ely was Mexican,
Really?
like, for the longest time. Actually, anybody with dark hair, I just assumed was Mexican, like until I went to Texas Lutheran University. But like I told the Dirty River Boys one night, like drunkenly, like I'm pretty much Mexican. You know, which is so stupid to say to anybody. Like where you're from, like even dictates like what kind of person you're gonna be. But like, it'd be like growing up in New York and like really loving New York style pizza and like the whole like big Italian family thing, and like this, like, I don't know, and then just like moving to Nashville and not being able to have that, not being able to have like great bagels or like falafel,
Yeah.
you know, or halal or something, you know, like I moved away from there and like I was like, fuck, this is such a big part of my life. Like I miss the Mexican food. I miss the dark-haired girls. I miss the vibrant colors. Like I moved to San Antonio because there's no place on earth like San Antonio, and it's like I've tried to incorporate, you know, that shit into my like the vibrant colors and like the horns and the accordion and the rhythms into my music like since day one. But moving here, I realized like how much that influences me just as much as the rock and roll and the songwriters, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to more, like in high school, I went to more quinceañeras than I went to like, what would you have, like birthdays or regular birthdays or
Sweet 16s.
Yeah.
That kind of
crap. Exactly.
I think we can call Sweet 16s crap.
Yeah.
Especially like, have you ever seen like the MTV show?
Oh, it's horrible. Is that still going on?
I don't know. Suddenlink doesn't have HBO anymore. I mean, MTV anymore.
You don't have HBO Go?
No, I didn't mean
You
HBO.
should get it.
I said HBO, but I meant MTV.
Oh, yeah.
Like MTV's scrapped off there. So I don't know what they have on MTV anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they probably still have Sweet 16 shit. And anytime you watch that, you're just like, A, those are the worst people
Yeah.
in the world.
Raising the worst
B,
people, too.
Yeah. B, like, this is why the rest of the world hates Americans.
Yeah.
And, like, C, like, I hope that those people grow up and they realize, man, I was such a fucking shithead.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I didn't have, like, I didn't have anything remotely like that growing up. But I still look at me at 16 and go, God, you were a shithead. Which I think,
Yeah.
like, anyone who's, like, well-balanced as an adult probably does that. Or I would think.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you should do that.
But, like, yeah, those people are just the worst people in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like every quinceañera I went to, it was like the people in the thing, like I paid like $180 to rent a purple tux.
Yeah.
You know, and like you had to learn, you know, how to dance to the like conjunto music.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, but like that's, you know, that's based off of tradition and family.
right.
And like a Sweet
And
16
the
is
whole
like,
family is there,
Yeah.
and like the girls, maybe friends are there, but the whole family does it together, and it's never. I'm sure there's little monsters like.
Yeah.
Some people spoil their kids. Like, I heard like the Cavender. Like when I was living in San Antonio, one of the Cavender, a Cavender daughter, like Cavender, like he owns the Cadillac,
mm-hmm.
and Cavender Cadillac, and you know, like everybody. When you have means, like sometimes you're gonna spoil your kids.
Yeah.
And that happens. And I mean, it doesn't mean these people are bad, but MTV is like really good at like cultivating and finding those
Exactly.
people who look the worst, you know, on there. And it's great television, but yeah, like when I was dating Stephanie, I realized like, oh, my family does not really hang out that much because every weekend we were with her family and we were hanging out, and it was like being in the moment, spending time with people, and like wow, I come from like the classic, I think, white people family. It was like we see you during Christmas and
Yeah.
Easter, maybe
Thanksgiving, that kind of
Thanksgiving,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's okay too, but when you move to Nashville, you realize like, or you move somewhere else, you realize what influenced you and what you liked about the place you were. And then you start, I think it helps you kind of find who you are more, you know?
Yeah. It's kind of like you're not in the middle, you're not in the middle of it anymore. You're looking from the outside. So
Right.
like you realize like the stuff you took for granted. It's the, you know, the stuff
Yeah.
you miss. And I don't know, it's weird. Like Ryan Colwell, he made this record called Flatlands, and it came out last year, and probably like the best record at capturing what living in the Panhandle is.
Yeah, and he wrote it
And
here.
yeah,
and
he
recorded
wrote it
yeah.
and recorded it here, and it's because he realized like all the shit he missed
Yeah.
about living in the Panhandle and like the people and the way it is.
Until you
know?
get away from it, you
Yeah.
can't really.
You get like
see
the
what it
full
is.
picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, but
Yeah. When I listen to like the newer Counting Crows records, I don't know, identify with that whole California thing and that Berkeley thing.
yeah.
Even though he's been living in New York, I think for like a decade or two.
Mm-hmm.
But still feels very California.
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 Has he done one of those California commercials? The ads?
Oh no.
No.
No, I think
Have you ever seen those?
he's not super stoked on California anymore.
Oh.
I think he loves New York. you
Okay.
know? Yeah, those are funny. Like with Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's like, California,
Yeah.
come to Cali. And he's
Yeah.
like putting the
They're all like
cigar.
they're basically saying like they're throwing like all these little puns about California. Like people just think I don't know.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I don't know I can't even think of anything off the top of my head, but like we're just a bunch of movie stars. And it's
Yeah,
obviously like
it's all movie
a
stars.
big movie star doing it,
Yeah.
and like I don't know.
I love that place too. I
Yeah.
would live there. I live in West Hollywood. I could still get Mexican food.
Yeah.
The culture's still there.
It's weird, like there's a little hub of like Lubbock guys in LA.
Really?
Yeah. You see a
Yeah.
couple of guys, or I don't know how many people. I know at least like 4 or 5 people that moved
Yeah.
out there, and they all kind of moved out there at the same time. So I don't know if that's like there's going to be an exodus towards LA.
Maybe. I mean, if it becomes cheap enough where you can
Yeah.
keep your overhead low and still tour.
I
I'd
don't
love
know.
to live there. I need the sunshine. I can't. Nashville in the wintertime is
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard. But
You're going to use this fireplace over here.
yeah.
Is
When you
this a real one? or
Oh
no?
yeah, it's a real fireplace.
Okay. I don't know if it
One
was just.
upstairs and one downstairs too.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. You good?
I'm good.
All
Thank
right.
you for having me and keep doing. I mean, I loved your blog, and I thought you were doing God's work then, but I think this is.
Yeah.
since
Well, we're still
people,
doing
like,
that.
Stopped reading.